Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite Apistos, the Apistogramma macmasteri. This one is specifically the gold form. I love these guys. About, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago I used to breed them quite easily. But we're going to go over care, tank mates, and everything in between, so stay tuned. So here we are, this is a 20 long, it looks absolutely terrible, more on that later, but for now we're just going to talk about these fish. This is the gold form, there's also the wild type, and the wilds have more of a silver gold body and like lots of red and blues in the fins and the bodies, whereas the gold form here is obviously going to be a more gold body with a lot of red around the throat and mouth area. The males get about 3 inches, the females stay quite a bit smaller at around 2 inches, which is pretty typical for Apistos. pH is going to be about 5.5 to 7, hardness 1 to 10, and temps about 73 to 82. And this fish room has pretty big swings. It gets down to about 73, 74 at night and up to about 80 during the day. So it's some pretty big swings and they handle it just fine. Now my biggest tip with Apistos is the substrate. They are technically earth eaters, so they will sift through sand. So sand substrate is, in my opinion, a must for Apistos. We just had to pull a rock out of another dwarf cichlid we had in the fish room. It was stuck in its throat. So sand for earth eaters, definitely a must in my opinion. They absolutely love planted tanks. You don't want a lot of flow with these guys. They're not found in streams or rivers, so a lot of flow will not do them any good. They are omnivores, but prefer meaty foods. So we feed live, frozen, freeze-dried, and then a wide range of prepared foods or commercial foods, if you will. And like most fish, the higher quality food, the better the fish is gonna look. So just keep that in mind. If you're feeding your fish just one food over and over and over and over and over, they're gonna get dull, they're not gonna be as colorful. They might still have some color, but nothing like if you feed a varied diet. I mean, let's be real, do you wanna eat the same thing every single day for a year at a time? I don't. They are absolutely peaceful, except when it comes time to spawn. That is when things can really go sideways. There are some times, like before the spawn, where the male will be the aggressor, and then after the spawn, almost every time, the female becomes hyper aggressive. So in a 20 long, if you don't remove the male after a spawn, you're gonna want lots of line of sight breaks, lots of caves, lots of hardscape, plants, and just general places for them to hide. If they do happen to spawn for you, I would still recommend removing the male because it can be pretty bloody. It can be a bloodbath. Tank mates, I love pairing Apistos with Corydoras and rainbow fish. In this tank, we have leopard cories, we have rasboras, no rainbow fish, but there's some rasboras, and you can see these zodiac loaches just doing what loaches do. They're bonkers. So I used to breed this fish about 7-8 years ago, a long time ago, just bred a ton of them. And back then I was in really soft tap water. Now I have really hard well water. And so the reason this tank looks like crap is because when you need to soften your water, there's a few different things you can do. I'd try to do it the lazy way and just stop doing water changes, and then naturally as organics break down, your pH will lower over time. Well, this is what happened. I started getting this blue-green algae, and as you can see, it is purling. It's actually not purling. I did a water change and sprayed some hydrogen peroxide, and this is what happens when you do that. Tomorrow, all of this stuff will be like purple. The blackbeard algae will be purple, and within 2 to 3 days, everything will be dead. And then you have a fun time gravel vacuuming all the dead algae up and bacteria. But anyways, so that's why this tank looks like absolute garbage, but we're in the process of making it look better. There's not much else I can say about these guys. Give them soft water, give them a lower pH if you want them to spawn down like 6.2, give or take a couple tenths, and they should spawn for you as long as you're feeding them. This guy is a little shy because I just cleaned the glass. The female over here, now we can get a good look at her. She has kind of a weird body shape too, which I don't know if that's a deformity, but I still love her anyways. I don't care. And now he's starting to show off his fins. He's starting to get a little more comfortable. He's very camera shy too. When I'm in here and there's no camera, he comes right to the front of the glass, which is actually very frustrating. And touching back on tank mates, these are the neon red rasboras, although they're not under the light, so it doesn't look like they're red. But this is about as small as I would go. There should be about 8 of them going back and forth around it here. I see 4 there. Because I was just in here wiping glass, they're probably still hiding in this mess here, just like this quarry right here. But I can't recommend these guys enough. If you should come across a pair for sale, I would highly recommend them. I love this fish, and I just can't say enough good things about them. All right, folks, there you have it, the Apistogramma macmasteri. As always, if you want some good quality apistos, I highly recommend Dan's Fish or the Wet Spot Tropical Fish. And I have discount codes that'll save you 10% at either of those places, so check them out down below. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.